Hello and welcome to our special Mother's Day edition of the podcast. I'm Susan Bryant coming to you from Dallas, Texas. As a certified public accountant, certified tax planner, and investment advisor representative, I help to navigate the complex world of finances for our business owner clients. And as a mom to two amazing daughters, I understand the importance of order, both at home and in your finances.
And I'm Catherine from Fort Wayne, Indiana. As an EOS integrator or the Entrepreneur Operating System, business strategist, and seasoned firm administrator, as well as a mom to three awesome and very busy kids, two basset hounds, a cat, and, the whole host of things. I know a little bit about turning chaos into order. So today, for Mother's Day, we're going to be showing you how those classic mom nuggets of wisdom is not just for rolling your eyes or wondering when the heck did you turn into your parents, but this is going to be some really solid advice.
Yes, we are going to totally put a spin on all of those mom-isms, the ones that have stood the test of time. And really, you can hear your mom saying them. But at the same time, that those words of wisdom to help you to nurture and grow not only as a person, but in this particular case, how to nurture and grow your entrepreneurial wealth.
Yes. And speaking of entrepreneurial wealth, let's just take a moment real quick to thank our sponsor for today's episode. Today's sponsor is Unboxed Advisors. Unboxed is the premier firm for business owners to get their accounting, taxes, business strategy, operations, and wealth planning all in order under one house. Experience the difference when you are a part of getting your life looked through from all the different lenses from your personal wealth and having a business advocate on your side. So if you are a small business owner feeling stuck, tired of surprises, you have got to get Unboxed. Go check out Unboxed Advisors at www.unboxedadvisors.com to start the conversation. All right. My mama always said you got to be on time. So, Susan, give us the first momism that pops into your brain for our Mother's Day edition.
I think the first one that I would think is like cleanliness is next to godliness. So like go clean up your room now.
Uh, Amen. We've all, at least at one point in our mom career, has yelled that up the stairs or has kindly asked that to be happening before you can go and have fun.
Yeah, I think there might be like a little bit of nagging that might have transpired along with that. But it's like meant in a very and positive way because we know that when you remove clutter from your environment, then you are freed, your mind is freed to expand to these more important things. So I mean that all that stuff makes really great sense. And what's really fascinating is how that can translate for a business owner whose room is a mess, right? Their accounting is out of order. They don't know where their documentation is. They've got people working on everything's kind of siloed in different places. Things are just really disorganized, and so their financial lives are super cluttered. I mean, frankly, it's like a pigsty in there, right? Like that's what your mom would say. Like, what are you willing to live in a pigsty? And that's kind of how it is in your business. So there are some really important things that business owners need to do to sort of clean up their room. Mm-hmm. And that really begins with one, getting your accounting records in order so you can eliminate a lot of these systemic issues, which are kind of having downstream effects for you. Number two, making sure your documents are organized, like you know where everything is. I was on a call not too long ago, Catherine. This is going to crack you up. Okay. The guy had just started a business and I'm asking him for the EIN number for this new LLC that was created. Mm-hmm. And he's like, hang on a second. I think that's in my Yahoo email. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is sort of the disorder that's kind of plaguing. Like, well, where is that? Where is that? You got to kind of search every time to go find something. That takes a lot of energy versus everything in its place. We know what's going on, very organized. So, okay, but maybe you could like give me your thoughts on what like cleaning your room from a business standpoint would mean, because your perspective is often different than like, I think accounting and finances, but sort of what are you thinking of?
Well, when I'm thinking about this, and mind you, I've got 3 kids. So, one, if I just tell my kids, go upstairs and clean your room, like, heaven help me when I'm going to find underneath the bed, in the closet, like behind the door, like it could get real. And that's what I found it with business owners too, is typically there's a closet, whether it's in their financials or whether it is someplace in their business where it's kind of like I don't want to deal with that. I'm just gonna like shove it over there where that becomes a ginormous stress and
Hmm.
pressure point on the business owner is when you have drop-in guests. Like if your mother-in-law is coming over to your house, you're kind of like, hurry up, let's clean up, run the vacuum, like woohoo. Same thing, like if you're gonna have private equity show up or you need a loan officer so you can get to the next level of your business, you know, you want to have everything tidy and ready to go, guest ready. So there's no stress when those things happen. You don't have to like hurry up and clean the whole dang house. So
Yeah.
that's what comes to mind for me. But maybe
Yeah.
my kids are just the unruly ones. Like maybe I'm the one who
No,
struggles with
no.
that.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, that kind of that phrase, sweep the, dust under the rug. I mean, that kind of exists for a reason because this is like the natural thing. It's like, well, I don't really want to deal with that right now, so I'll just stick it over here.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the unpacking that really needs to happen. And one of the things that I think is very interesting about that is that when we start talking with business owners sort of about those closets that are kind of they're like the junk drawers in your kitchen, right? Like where you're like, I don't know what's in there. Like that drawer's been a mess for years. Um, is that actually is sorts of great discomfort. Like they feel like it's uncomfortable. It's like a somehow an obstacle for them.
Yeah.
But they often just don't know who to turn to get it done. And I think that's one of the things that's challenging is that, I mean, you want to go to your CPA, they're like, I don't have time for you. Financial advisor's like, sorry, I don't give tax advice. You can find a bookkeeper and they're like, I can talk to you in 6 months. I was talking to one of the ladies that we network with, and she's working with a client right now. And the estate planning attorney said, this was like in April, said, I can meet with you on June 19th. That's like 8 weeks. Like that's I think what they're facing is that they don't really have a way for someone to really come in and work with them immediately to get that stuff handled. And that's a really big challenge. And that's one of the things that we're really trying to solve for them is like you need attention. You need somebody to help you clean up your room.
Mhm.
Like you need somebody, like, hey, have you looked over here? Hey, let's get this organized. Hey, let's do this. I think that's one of the things that we got to spend some time on.
No, yeah. And, getting back to momisms, we have a housekeeping service, which it's amazing. Every professional should have one, right? Like our time is way more valuable than me, scrubbing toilets. And there's a professional who loves all those things, right? But
Right.
that doesn't mean that my kids get so annoyed every other Tuesday night where I'm like, you have to clean up your rooms. You have to clean this. You have to move the clutter. Like, why? The housekeeper comes tomorrow. I'm like, but you still are responsible for like cleaning up after yourself. And that's a really hard concept for my kiddos. But that's also translates to being a business owner. Often when you do find a housekeeper to help you get your house in order, you're still responsible for one, making sure they show up, communicating the different seasons of what you need, every time that they come in, they're not doing the whole shebang. So you got to kind of organize that and be good stewards of the service. So even though most business owners are not like us, Susan, they didn't go in to crunch the numbers. They still need to be engaged in that process. So, yes,
Yeah,
my kids would be like, that's a momism that you have to clean before the housekeeper comes.
absolutely. Right. It's sort of like that hoarder show. I mean, you're still the one making the decision. Like, I want to keep it. I want to give it away. I want to throw it away. Right.
Yep.
Like there's still a level of participation necessary. And honestly, it's your future. You should want to care about it and take care of it, and that and want to really nurture it and protect it and help it to grow. And so along the way, you got to make sure it's all tidied up.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
So
that's a great segue into the next talking about nurturing, talking about taking care of yourself. There is one thing that every mom has said to their kids, guaranteed: eat your vegetables. Eat your
Oh, yeah.
vegetables.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Like make a happy plate. Come on, eat that broccoli up. You got to get.
Gosh, with all like
Yeah.
the little text on all of the little board games and everything else, like you need to eat those carrots. Keep going. Keep going.
Yeah. Well, it's like it does a body good, right? You are what you eat. I mean, there's all these sort of tangential things. And really, that all gets back to this idea that we have to take great care of the things that keep us alive. And our body is the biggest source of that. We need to take great care of it. And when we translate into like the business setting, that means taking great care of those things that keep us healthy. So that means we've got to do a good job at thinking about um, like washing our vegetables, right? Like you got to wash the vegetables because we want to make sure that we've gotten off all those bad things that could leave a lot of junk behind in our bodies, right? Same thing for we want to make sure that we are doing a good job with keeping up with the timely preparation of tax returns so that we aren't left like what's going on here and really getting kind of trashed with a bunch of surprises and negative feelings. Gosh, I'm trying to think about some other aspects of this that, when you start thinking about like you have to eat better in order to maybe maintain the weight you want to be. Same thing goes with like if you want to reduce their tax liability, you're going to have to do tax planning, right? So your vegetables in that way become like you're going to have some discipline around these certain activities to make sure that you're getting the best results on the back end.
Well, okay. So for a momism for me, I shoo my kids out of the kitchen when I'm making food because I'm constantly chopping up veggies and sneaking them into things. So they don't know, like, oh, you really do like onions. Oh, no, you really do like garlic. No, I've been feeding that to you for years. They have no idea. And that's not new, Susan. Like every mom does that, or they smother it in cheese or something else. Same
Yeah.
thing into business. You know that you have to eat your vegetables, but that doesn't mean that it has to be just a salad. There's a whole smorgasbord of vegetables around you for you to taste, try new ingredients, pair with different seasonings. That is the art form of tax strategy and tax planning that is way different than prep. So those are two different things that as, a woman myself, I wish someone on Mother's Day would have given me that gift a long time ago, that those are two very different things. Two totally different things.
Two totally different things. Yes. And you're right. I think the unfortunate part about it is that in many cases, there's just not a lot of accountants who function in that tax planning space for these business owners because they have way too many returns to prepare. They just don't have the bandwidth. So if business owners who are like, you know what, I do want to be reformed and I'm going on that diet and I want to be healthier financially. A big way to do that is to eat your vegetables by doing tax planning. And you got to find the right resource for that. Someone who can help you step back and look at the big picture, not only in the business, but also personally, and kind of weave those things together so that you really do have this more integrated and holistic examination of your strategies overall and how they all work together. And make sure that like, hey, if I eat broccoli, this is what's going to happen. If I have more carrots, this is what's going to happen. If I eat that, 12 Oreos, this is what's going to happen. So I think there's a lot of truth to that. And while these are great analogies, it's really important for people to understand like you have to have the right professional who's walking that path with you. And it's not a one-time thing, just like any other diet that we put ourselves on. It's something it's a lifetime, right? What do they call it? A lifestyle change,
Yes.
right? So
Yeah.
that's what it is. It's a lifestyle change.
Well, and to that end, when it comes to getting your produce, you can go to Costco, you can go to Whole Foods, you can go get the best produce, the best tax strategy. You can go and have the best CPA. You can have everything, the whole stars aligned, right? But just like vegetables, if you do not cook with them, if you do not take them out of the fridge, if you don't actually do something with these vegetables, they will spoil, they'll rot, they will get gunky, they'll get gross, and they are no good. So execution is also key. And that's something when you have that fresh produce, like shot clock is going. Same thing in taxes, in your business. Even if you've got the right stuff with the right people, if you don't take action, it's all spoiled.
Oh yeah, and I mean, I think I tell so many stories about business owners where, they offered up many suggestions, and they're like, yes, that's a great idea. And then you check back, like, oh yeah, I'll get somebody to work on that for me. Check back, and it's like 18 months later, and it's still sitting in their inbox. They're like, yeah, I'm going to get to that. It's like, uh, business owners get really busy, and they really need a partner who is going to not put things on their to-do list, but take things off their to-do list, so that they can really live that lifestyle change and just know that those vegetables are in there, right? Like, and they're okay with that. They're like, oh, no problem. I'll drink the V8. I can get all the vegetables in one glass. That's exactly what I want.
As moms, we all want that. Like, take it off my plate, tell me what to do, and then for the love of God, please just go do it for me. Like, don't we all
Exactly.
want that?
Yes. Yes, that's exactly. I thought would make every mother happy this Mother's Day. Just do it. Just get
Yep.
it done. Like, I don't want to have to say another word about it.
Okay, well, let's say the words about it, okay? There's another momism that comes around. I've said it to my kids. I know you've said it to your kids.
Oh
I know
God.
everyone said it to their kids,
Okay,
right?
I can't wait for this one. I'm ready.
Right?
Okay.
Money does not grow on trees.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. This in my mind goes with like, we're not air conditioning the whole neighborhood, right? Because like that's just letting like literally you can see the dollars floating out of this. Especially I grew up in South Texas. So I mean, like the air conditioner never stopped running. So yes, money does not grow on trees.
Mm-mm.
Um, it's interesting. I kind of wonder where that saying came from. Um, I don't know, kind of makes me curious about that. I'm certain it has to go back a little bit into like this whole idea, like you've got to, as a person who is responsible, like you need to take care of what you've got here, right? Like this is not this is not like you get to just, everything is just going to be multiplied. Money is just kind of coming out of everywhere. I mean, what you get, you got to really make sure you're taking care of it in a way where it's meaningful and you're putting it to work for you. And that kind of reminds me of what a mother thinks about when they're like really helping their kids to make good decisions, right? Like we want our kids to be good stewards of money, teach them good money principles, like learn how to save. Have you? I don't know if you do this with your kids. I never did it with mine, but I've heard of people who like, will give their kids an allowance and take part of it and like pay a tax with it, put some of it in savings. I don't know if you do any of that with your kids.
There's actually a teacher who does that, who gives out fake money and makes the kids every Friday pay rent with their fake money to show them $1 for rent, $1 for utilities, and it's teaching them. And I absolutely adore and love it. In our household, little personal is our kids get money. Great. They have an option with the money. They can either A, spend it, do what they want, or we have a vacation fund where the kids can put it into the vacation fund and it is their souvenir money and I double it.
Ooh, very
So talk about a
attractive.
return on investment, right?
Right? No kidding. Yeah. Okay, money might grow on trees at your house. Just
Oh,
kidding.
well,
But I
anything.
mean, really the spirit of that is like, um, we have to be good stewards
Yep.
of what it is. We have to take care of our money, right? Nobody wants to waste money. We don't want to pay more taxes than we should. We don't want to be frivolous. I mean, we don't want to pay for a subscription we're not using.
Yep.
I mean, like there's endless. I mean, now there's like a service, like an app
Mhm.
that you pay for that tells you what you subscribe to, like what apps you subscribe to, because nobody wants to pay for something that they're not using. I mean, this
Right.
is just like the way of the world, right? So, yeah, I think that there's a lot to be said there, but honestly, it really boils down to like really take care of what you've been given. Be
Mhm.
grateful for it and be a good custodian of it. Sometimes people just don't know, especially business owners, like I don't know how to be, I don't know how to read my financials. I don't know how to make the best decisions. How do I know I'm doing the right thing
Mhm.
with my money?
Yeah.
And that comes up a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, it does come up a lot. One of the mom-isms, at least that I have, because I did not grow up in South Texas. I grew up in Michigan. So for us, it was working a season ahead or buying clothes in the off season. So
Mm,
in the spring, we would be buying clothes for the winter because we knew it was going to snow in the winter every year. So money doesn't grow on trees. I'm going to buy it when it's on the discount and then I'll have it next year. Same thing in your business and how that translates is we know that there's seasons in business. We know that there are. So your mom telling you, you got to save for the rainy day. How many times have we heard that, Susan?
oh man. Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's anybody who's not heard that. I
No.
mean, I think they actually like, I've seen it on like a general ledger, like rainy day fund.
But it's true. And there's a reason for that. You know that you might have seasons in your business, you might have growth plans coming up. So there is some pre planning that needs to be taking place in that spirit of money doesn't grow on trees. And one of those is like your KPIs, measuring things.
Yeah.
How are things doing compared to the plan that you had in place? Those are all really big important things that we try to teach our kids.
Yeah, we do. And I think it's because we're trying to lay that foundation for, I mean, this is sort of just like measuring anything
Mhm.
is that if we can see progress, then we have this sense of that we're winning, right? That our confidence grows, our faith in what we're doing. We see measurable progress and it's more tangible. I think this is why you see most business owners, who are maybe inexperienced in examining financials. They maybe more use their bank account of like, okay, my bank going up, I must be doing something right. Translating that into, how to look at those financials and make decisions. I mean, it's kind of the same principle. It's very tangible.
Mhm.
And I think that's what when we say money doesn't grow on trees, it's kind of like this idea of taking something that's a little bit more ethereal and pulling it back to something that is a little bit more um, real,
Mhm.
and could be something that you could like more visualize, because for most people, accounting just isn't a visual thing. They just don't see what we as financial professionals see.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you want to talk about something real, Susan? Okay.
Okay.
So I was driving the kids to school this morning. Okay.
Okay.
They're in the back, they're screaming, they're having a good old time, they're listening to the radio. I see like something flying in the back seat. And I said the words, if y'all cannot listen and get along, I'm going to turn this car around. Have you ever said that once or
Oh my
twice?
gosh. Okay, so like mom confession. Like I didn't know this was gonna turn into I mean, I have actually stopped the car, made my older daughter get out of the car and walk up this giant hill. I mean, I like waited for her at the top, but like I made her, I mean, it was a hot day. I remember it. Like she was her face was all red and she was sweaty and everything. But you just like yeah, at it, like we need you to listen, right? Like you got to listen, kids. And so, yeah, I kind of equate this one, like this one goes in my mind, with like, you just wait until your father gets home. That those kind of go together. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's all empty. I mean, it's all the empty threats to like stop the bickering. That's what it really is.
That's true. Yes. Okay. Yes. I mean, maybe that one time I did make her get out of the car, but countless other times I'm gonna stop this car, or
Yep.
you can tap the brakes a little bit and they're like, oh, I guess she's serious. Like,
Belt check.
yeah, see, but yes, exactly. But you're right. It's like, at what point, do we as adults and as business owners, right, say like, what kind of seatbelt check am I gonna need?
Yep.
You know what I mean? Should
Yeah.
I need that anymore? Should I just be like, okay, I know what I need to do, right? I know I need to shut up and be quiet so that the driver's not distracted, so we don't all die in a fiery car crash,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's kind of the idea. That's what we're trying to get across, to the kids. Like there has to be some awareness that continues to expand for business owners about how many times is this going to come up as an issue before it's like you're going to solve it and
Yeah.
get it done?
Yeah. And
So,
I think it's important, as moms, we have picked the passengers in our back seat. Same thing for business owners. Like you get to pick who is in your back seat. So if your back seat is full of chaos and you've got people who are not getting along, or worse, not talking to each other, and it's icy and you could cut the tension with a knife, it's
yeah,
time to make a change. And how I look at that is your estate planning attorney should be talking to your CPA, who should be talking to your insurance broker, who should be talking to, if you've got an M&A advisor, like everyone should be talking to each other and be in the same vehicle, going to the same place, same destination. And when that's not happening, the driver can feel like there's chaos going on in the backseat of their car. And so if you feel like you're not getting your advisors that you trust to talk to each other, just imagine you turning around to the back seat, like maybe one of us has and said, "Do you want to walk the rest of the way?" Like,
yeah.
I
Or
don't
it's
want
kind
to
of
do
like
this
when have
anymore.
you ever been like in a large group and like everybody's got their own car and it's like, okay, we're all going to try to follow each other,
Yeah.
right? And then somebody gets stuck at a red light and then you got to pull over and you got to wait. Like it's really inefficient. It's very frustrating. It's like, ah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's kind of what I feel like most business owners are sort of battling.
Mhm.
It's like this feels difficult. This is hard. Like, why can't we all be in the same car? Why can't I just have a bus and I'm driving it and everybody has a seat and we're all going to the same place together. We might as well be traveling together all in the same direction at the same speed. Like all of those things very much align. And it's very challenging when we just don't have that in place. So, like you said, you've got to have all these different advisors. There's got to be someone who is coordinating the efforts, someone who is communicating among the entire team, someone who is championing your priorities as a business owner and really conveying that to everyone else, and then holding the remaining parts of the team accountable for their part of the performance so that we can get to the destination. That is truly how the team should be functioning. It's just unfortunate because it is more like you described, Catherine, where it's like everyone's just in the back seat, like doing their own thing. It's like, I need a tissue. My batteries are dead, like I'm like,
Yes.
people are hitting each other, like not getting along. And it makes it really hard to get anywhere.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, hey, maybe somebody does need to stop the car, turn around. Everybody out. Everybody get out. Everybody out. Like, I'm getting new people. Like,
I'm sure I'm positive that might need to happen for some business owners who are listening to this right now, going, "Oh my gosh, there's chaos in my business backseat. Holy smokes." And if you are one of those business owners that feels like you have chaos, one of the things that you're going to want to do is put the right people in the right seats, which we've all heard that before. Okay, that's
yeah,
that's not new. That's not new, but I think it's really important to get serious, get a plan, stop tolerating the chaos in the back seat. Make sure everyone is clear. Like if y'all can't get along and work in my best interest,
yeah,
get out.
yeah. I'm gonna find somebody. Period. Right.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. So, yeah. Anytime somebody uses that word tolerating, I always think about Keith Cunningham's book, The Road Less Stupid. And when he talks about like, what are you tolerating in your business? Like, it really makes you think as a business owner, like, wow, what am I tolerating?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And moms have to put up with that stuff, but business owners, you know what? You guys, you don't have to. There's a lot of power in that for sure.
Absolutely. And as business owners ourselves and moms, like there's nothing that we haven't seen, haven't heard, haven't dealt with. And, having advisors who look at financial books every day of the week and twice on Sunday can help you really make strategic decisions about your business rather than being one business owner who only sees your financials. Getting someone who can come from a lot of different lenses, who have seen 5, 10, 15 business owners in your industry and in your growth stage, like that's a game changer. You don't have to go it alone.
No, you do not have to go it alone. As a matter of fact, you shouldn't. You really shouldn't. Just like kids have moms, like you really should be having someone who kind of helps you in that capacity, who's helping you mother your money, mother your business, really nurture and help you to grow this with that perspective in a different way and tell you when, that be a straight shooter with you and tell you when that's not right and that doesn't look good. And why are we doing this?
Mm.
And that's can be very, very positive for a business owner. It helps keep everybody grounded um and really just focused on asking what's best for me, what's best for the business, what's best for my family, what's really the best decision to be made here.
Yeah. Amen. Amen to all of that. Well, not to be a nag, not to be a nag. I mean, it is Mother's Day, so I feel like I have learned that I have earned that title of just being one giant nag. But we have definitely covered a ton of information, and this is our Mother's Day gift to y'all. It really is, right? Like these mom-isms that we just touched on, they can have massive, massive transformational power in how you manage your money or even think about your business.
Yeah, there's so much power in all of these. And these are like small, I mean, we're scratching the surface on this stuff and making it more fun. But honestly, the results, the outcomes, that's what really people are chasing, right?
Yeah.
They really want someone to, guide them, direct them, help them along the way so that they aren't alone on this journey. And they're really looking for that expert person. So if that's you and you're ready to like take control and you really want, the right mom, if you will, to work with you, then give us a call or visit our website, www.unboxedadvisors.com. Book an appointment. We're here to help you develop a comprehensive and integrated approach to solving all of your money, financial, business issues. And we want to see our clients be abundant, prosperous, and succeed, just like any mom feels about their kids.
Oh, it's true. Or, I tell my kids, my job is to love, protect, and guide you, and I'm pretty sure that's what it's like with our clients too. So,
Yeah.
yeah. If you have found today's advice really helpful, do us a favor as moms, give us the gift of liking, subscribing, and give us a comment down below on what your favorite piece of mom wisdom has been today. I would really like that as my Mother's Day gift. What about you, Susan?
I would love it too.
Yeah.
So, and I wish everybody a happy Mother's Day. Catherine, happy Mother's Day to you.
Oh, you
I
too,
hope
Susan.
I hope you have a day full of rest and enjoyment, love, laughter, like all the things, and eat your
Yes, eat your vegetables. That's right. Well, happy Mother's Day, y'all. Take care, and we will see you in the next video.
all right, bye.